Welcome to Miniatures Rundown. I'm Kevin, and this is the first of a series of videos intended to strike at the heart of a problem I see going on in the discourse around Warhammer. However, there are a few things that this video and the others to follow are not. I'm not here to bash match play, tournaments and tournament players. I love Warhammer tournaments. I go to as many as I'm able. I rarely win, but I almost always have a great time. I'm also not pursuing the discussion of Games Workshop's business model or their perceived politics. Both those topics don't have much to do with what I want to discuss. What I want to get at is bringing the fun and wonder back to Warhammer. I think it's all too easy to forget that this hobby is so much more different from a video game. You can in fact do whatever you want. There's just plastic, resin, paper, and pixels. None of that can dictate your enjoyment of the hobby. For the past 2 years, I've attended the Warhammer 40k Grand Narrative in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's been nothing short of a transformative experience for me, and how I look at this hobby. I saw in practice a philosophy around the games that previously had only existed in the very beginning of my Warhammer career back in 3rd edition, with a hefty gaze through rose-tinted glasses, of course. I saw people so invested in the spirit of the narrative that the action on the table was simply a vehicle to carry that forward. With the people sending their warlord out to duel the opponent's warlord, play their opponents who had a stroke of bad luck, bring in reinforcements to even up a game, Vox Localum, which are basically the game masters, call in orbital strikes or deploy kill teams to active battle. It was truly inspiring. However, it did pose a question to me on the long drive home. Why doesn't 40k feel like this more often? While a lot of work went into the event in terms of setting, writing, and organizing, the terrain and board, while well done and evocative, were in no way something you would see come out of a professional paint studio. The real work of making it what it was, that was done by the players. Players had to agree on the wacky things that they did to each other, or the collaborative game mastering that the battle was strictly in the hands of the players. No written mechanics forced a player to accept their opponent getting the benefit of a land strike, or allowing their opponent to bring back a third of their army to even the game up. And that's just a few examples. Those things reminded me so much of my earliest days playing 40k with a handful of secondhand Chaos Space Marines. There was no match play packs. We just invented a marching column ambush and played it out. So maybe the pangs of nostalgia are to blame in part here. I say that all with the caveat that I'm totally behind match play. I think match play has done the best work to date of making it possible for two people who have never met each other to play a game of Warhammer and have a reasonable expectation of what that game will be like. I think that's a really good thing. The thing is, however, I think for most of us, most of our Warhammers play with the same group of people, at the same place, most of the time. So why are we beholden to the restrictions of match play? The layouts, the rules, the trappings that just make it tournament practice even when we're not calling it that. Now, if you're grinding it out to prep for your next super major, go for it. Doing well in competitive environment requires practice, so get your reps in. But for the rest of us, most of the time, why are we doing it? Are we doing it because it's what's spoon-fed to us, both by Games Workshop and the larger player community? I'm thinking that as players, we share some responsibility for that stagnation I'm observing. I also understand it takes two to tango. You can't just walk into your local game store's 40k night and announce that we're no longer using the Match Play Battle Pack. That's not likely to convince anyone. The start to taking more ownership over your hobby and bringing that magic back to your tabletop starts way smaller, more personal. And yes, it does ask more of you. Take it upon yourself to find that one other person is likely also dissatisfied with what 40k seems to be right now. If internet comments are to be believed, there should be a lot of them. Then actually do something different. It can even be as small as playing a match play scenario, but instead of playing the paintball arena prescribed battlefield setup, make a battlefield that reflects a place. A manufactorum, Xenos ruins, a shelled promenade. I think you'll find that small change alone adds so much to your game. And from there, your imagination is the limit. And I feel as a body, the 40k community has let their imaginations atrophy. It's time to exercise those muscles. Joy is infectious. I think that you'll find when you loose yourself from the prescribed way to play Warhammer, you'll find that joy again. You'll no longer feel the desire to give that into FOMO because a particular detachment or unit is what's hot in winning games. The rules you play become the window dressing that facilitates a great game happening on the tabletop, rather than the rules being the thing that dictates your play. And let me be crystal clear. If you enjoy match play the way it is, that's awesome. There's no wrong way to Warhammer aside from telling others that they are Warhammering wrong. It does ask more of you as a player. I think the outcome is worth the effort. In this upcoming series of videos, I hope to plant some guideposts in how to approach this, as I am on the same journey of claiming that joy from the hobby I love so much. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. And as always, if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and happy hobbying.